Highness Prince Khalid bin Walid bin Talal and His Excellency General Khalid Al Faleh, His Excellency Bandar Al Khrayef, and Ms. Lubna Al Alayan for their support throughout the program and for joining us today. The Biotech Startup Program started with a vision that Saudi Arabia to be the hub for biotech innovation and investment. The journey began in February of this year, and as soon as we launched the program, the application started rolling in, exceeding our expectation, both in number and level of innovation. We received over 130 applicants from some of the world's most prestigious universities, like Harvard, Cambridge, Mayo Clinic, KAUST, to name just a few. Applicants' education and occupation background range from researchers, entrepreneurs, investors, all bringing to the table innovative ideas and startups covering different fields within biotechnology. 70 of the applicants boarded the journey, and with different training sessions and mentorship sessions and filtration, now we reach the last stop of the program with the top five startups. On final note, I would like to thank our strategic sponsor and partner, Dr. Jamil Al-Baqawi, Saudi Aramco, and program partners, Ministry of Investment, Ministry of Industry, Future Investment Initiative Institute, and Sadara Petrochemical Company, as well as our training partner, Alumina, MSD, and Pfizer. Our aim of the program is to help to create a community of innovators and entrepreneurs that contribute to the Kingdom's active role in the biotech ecosystem at its strive to bend itself in the map of countries leading in investment and innovation of biotechnology. Now we will listen to the top 5 startups, and we will start with Shumul from Riyadh and Houston. Dr. Malak.
Good afternoon. I'm Kengo.
I'm Malak. We are Shumul's co-founders, and let's watch together a short video about our stories and solutions.
Current non-invasive prenatal tests can only screen for chromosomal abnormalities, such as partial duplications and deletions and aneuploidy. A widely used test is the screening for trisomy 21, which causes Down syndrome. However, up to 80% of genetic diseases are autosomal recessive diseases. To have an autosomal recessive disorder, you inherit 2 changed genes, or mutations, one from each parent. Examples of autosomal recessive disorders include cystic fibrosis, sickle cell anemia, and Tay-Sachs disease. Shumul offers the first comprehensive commercial non-invasive prenatal test for this type of diseases. Our technology combines innovative amplicon-based next-generation sequencing with our proprietary AI algorithm and a unique bioinformatics pipeline. A maternal peripheral blood sample is drawn at 9 to 15 weeks of pregnancy. Cell-free DNA is extracted from the blood and includes both maternal and fetal DNA. Analysis of the sequencing data can tell us the maternal genotype, the genotype of the cell-free DNA, and the fetal cell-free DNA fraction. Based on this information, we calculate the risk of the fetus carrying 2 copies of the mutation. With our reliable and highly accurate testing technology, Shumul's mission is to provide affordable, non-invasive prenatal testing for autosomal recessive disorders globally.
This is the current prenatal testing landscape. On the left side of the slide, you can see there is more than 40 companies in the US alone competing on a market size of around $5 billion, all of them offering NIPT testing for chromosomal disorder, which is mainly relevant for pregnant women with advanced maternal age. However, on the right side, where the majority of genetic disorders, almost 80% of them, namely autosomal recessive disorder, we still, until today, test them through an invasive, risky, expensive approach, which need a tertiary care setting. Here, where Shumul offers the first non-invasive NIPT testing for the common autosomal recessive disorders. In fact, our solution and our product can be customized to test for any of autosomal recessive disorder, which can be relevant to any maternal age or ethnic groups. Why Shumul? We are focusing on autosomal recessive disorders. We invented an non-invasive approach backed by solid science, research, and cutting-edge technology. We are most cost-efficient when we look to the current invasive approach. We have our distribution network in Saudi, USA. And most importantly, we want to simplify, and we wanted to democratize the prenatal testing. The product demo should come. So it's available to any pregnant woman worldwide. This is our same market in Saudi, Middle East, and USA.
Thank you, Marak. I'm going to talk about the key milestone of Shumul. So we just closed a seed round fundraising. So our first milestone in the next 9 months is to complete clinical validation of our product and publish the paper to ensure medical community. So our second milestone in next 15 to 18 months is the product launch. So we plan to enter US and the Saudi market. So we try to leverage our founders' network to work with commercial and operational partners to enter the market smoothly. So our last milestone in 24 months is to launch our own lab in US so that we can bring our technology and also operation in-house. Here is our team. Our team is very diversified and also experienced, with more than 90 years combined experience in science, technology, and clinical and business. Thank you so much.
Novi from London. Novi.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Your Royal Highness, Your Excellencies, esteemed judges, ladies and gentlemen, I'm delighted to tell you all about Novi, which is a startup that is unique. Its aim is to prevent blindness through the early identification and treatment of disease. So the problem is, and you all know, that the aging population is increasing, and with that, the aging conditions such as glaucoma and AMD. And one of the problems is there are no effective treatments because there is no way of effectively monitoring and diagnosing those diseases early. So what Novi has come up with is that this is a combination of a biologic with artificial intelligence. You can see here white spots which are at the back of a patient's retina. We are already in phase 2B clinical trials. The blue circles are showing very nicely the artificial intelligence, which is automatically detecting those spots in the retina. Now, compared to any other thing that is used to look at glaucoma or AMD, we are much, much earlier. In fact, we're talking about 10 years earlier. A visual field test, which is what is currently used as the gold standard for glaucoma, picks up the disease well after it's been established. We are talking about pinpoint cellular accuracy at a cellular level in a patient's eye. And it's supported by very robust patents because this has taken a number of years to develop. It's been funded through a charity called the Wellcome Trust, and that's allowed us to get where we are. So currently, this is a platform of 3 separate applications. We're talking about a biomarker, which helps drug companies develop new drugs and to help shorten the actual clinical trials from 10 years often to something like weeks. We've also got a drug delivery side of the platform, which allows us to put an agent onto our same molecule to get to places that are guaranteed to stop disease. And that is something for the future. But the thing that we're talking about today is how we're going to help everybody. We want to go out as a prognostic and a diagnostic, so that ultimately, even though this currently is intravenously given, the nasal version will allow us to reach out all over the world to pick out not only eye disease, but also diseases such as Alzheimer's and Parkinson's, because the eye is a window onto the brain. We have got clients already. As I said, we're revenue generating, and we've been de-risking preclinical and clinical trials. Our revenue so far is around 3 million. But the interesting thing is, as we move forward, we want to establish this as an established standard endpoint. And this was something for us today that we are aiming for. So in the long run, I mean, you can see here that actually the three things that I've pointed out all have a economical future. The graph shows you that our revenue from the biomarker business is steadily growing, and that is going to get even bigger as more and more people use and hear about it. The drug delivery is something that we are going to be doing in the future. But today, in the raise that we are currently doing, we want to develop the diagnostic and the prognostic as a software medical device for clinical use. And that is with a nasal version, which will have a reach out to everybody to be used in the long run. So our business milestones, we've been going for a while. I've been a professor at UCL and Imperial College in London, and this has been something that's been a little baby of mine. But actually, Novi was only founded in February 2020. So we've, I think, achieved quite a lot, including 4 clinical papers of publications of the use of DARK in glaucoma patients, in wet AMD patients, and also patients in geographic atrophy. This is just showing you how the actual technology works. You give an injection into the arm currently. Do you see these white spots occurring? Those are the ones that we count, and we use the AI to look at the distribution. So this is all incredibly important for realizing that this is something that can be taken forward. And none of this would be possible without our team, both at board level, but also at executive level.
Thank
so
you.
I hope
Thank you.
I can stop there. Thank you.
Any question?
No.
You have question?
You want to, بعدين ولا?
Up to you. If you have a question, you can. No.
No. So you're already income producing and
Absolutely, yes. That's why we want to go to the next stage.
How old is the company?
The company started in February 2020,
22.
so just before COVID,
Yeah.
but we've managed to get through by doing remote clinical trials, actually.
Who are your clients?
So our clients are based in the US, Australia, and Europe. So we have 2 clinical trials ongoing currently in Australia in AMD and glaucoma.
Trials.
Clinical trials.
Okay,
yes.
so this is proven technology or not yet?
So this is proven prognostic technology,
Prognostic.
which is being used to look at new drugs in AMD and glaucoma currently.
Okay.
Thank you.
good job.
Thank you.
Next, Kinemio from Houston and Jeddah. Kinemio from Kansas City.
Yes.
Yes, go ahead.
It's my honor to be with you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Dammam Valley, for inviting us. First, I will start with the 3 numbers before giving the floor to Danny. I will start with number 2 and 1.5 and 1. Number 2, we are trying to solve global problems. We are trying to solve the second cause of death around the world, which is cancer. And number 1.5 or 1.5, if we just talking about 10% of 3 types of cancer, 10% of the market for 3 types of cancer, we're talking about $1.5 billion at least every year. We can achieve that in 3 to 4 years. And the last number is number 1. It's our honor that we are the first Saudi US company, a biotech drug, reach the phase 1 clinical trials in the kingdom and also in the old Arab countries, and we deserve to have in the future many of these drugs. Danny, the floor is yours.
Thank you very, very much, Nabil. It's delightful to be here with you all today. Thank you so much. Very quickly, my name is Danny Griffin. I am a bioengineer by training, and I also have the privilege of being the Chief Scientific Officer of Kinemio. As we get started here, I'd just like to add some color to what Nabil kicked us off here. We all know cancer is a really, really big problem globally, right? But Many of us are all too familiar, maybe somebody we love has been affected by some kind of cancer in the past. If that's the case, you know that while there's many treatments we can try, they're not very effective at being able to improve quality of life, lengthen life, and keep those loved ones with us in the long term. As far as the therapeutic landscape has gone in the past decade, immunotherapies, using the immune system to fight cancer, has really, really exploded. Checkpoint inhibitors are really the flagship molecules of this class. In fact, this year they'll sell $31 billion US globally. And that number is expected to double by the end of the decade. So it's a huge opportunity and it's huge sales. So of course these checkpoint inhibitors work well for treating tumors, right? Well, that's not the case, especially in solid tumors where they have to be what a scientist call hot. These hot tumors respond really, really well to checkpoint inhibitors. But I tell you what the problem is, the vast majority, over 85% of them, are what we call cold. These patients don't respond, they progress in disease and will also ultimately succumb to it. That's why at Kinemio, what we've developed is an intratumoral injection designed for cold tumors to turn them hot. By turning those cold tumors hot, this therapy is an adjunct with checkpoint inhibitors to unlock therapeutic response in patients and keep our loved ones close with us in the long term. Of course, we're not the only ones in this space. That's probably a good thing, actually, that there's more than just us. But I'll tell you what's unique about Kinemio. We formulated our drug, KIN-001, specifically with components that are already approved for use in humans by the FDA. What this means is we have minimal safety risk, an expedited manufacturing path that's going to allow us to get to the market quicker and with less money invested up front. Importantly, Nabil said, increasing the efficacy of checkpoint inhibitors, if we can unlock just 10% more response in these patients, that's a $1.5 billion market opportunity. The upside of that, if we take just our top 3 indications, that would be melanoma, head and neck cancer, and triple negative breast cancer. That's about 500,000 patients in the US. These therapies are commonly charged at $150,000 US. That's a $7.5 billion market opportunity. We have good traction. As Nabil said, we've completed a clinical trial. I can't share much about that with you today, but what we will be sharing it in a peer-reviewed public journal in the next month or so. So we're very excited about that. In closing, right now we're raising funds for our next clinical trial. We completed one in the US. We'd like to do a multi-site one between US and Saudi Arabia moving into next year. If all goes well with that, we're raising $4 to $7 million right now as a Series A priced round. We expect we can achieve FDA approval by 2025. We have a great team to get this done. We can talk more about it, but that'll do it. So thank you.
Thank you. Any question, Ali?
How many competitors do you have? What's the landscape?
Excuse me, how many competitors?
The competitive landscape.
Yeah, that is a great question. So recently we commissioned an analysis last month where we looked at clinical trials of intratumoral immunostimulants, the same kind of drug we're doing. We found 77 companies with active trials. Most of them are in the phase 1 or 2 stages. But like I said, these are all new chemicals. The safety is unproven, efficacy is unproven. With KIN-001, it's been in people for over 20 years. We're repurposing it because of a discovery Nabil made.
So are you the only ones who are already using chemicals that are safe and that's your unique?
That's another great question as well. Through scientific collaboration with Nabil, we discovered this new utility and were able to start patenting it back in 2017. Kinemio now has 3 of those.
Yeah, we already have like 3 patents, and we're patenting more to protect the technology. So we are the only one in this field. Yeah.
Thank you, Mai.
So, Nabil and Danny, good to see you here.
Yeah, thanks.
You mentioned 10% efficacy is worth 1.5 billion. But if the efficacy is only 10%, will it gain regulatory approval? Will it be introduced if it's only 10% effective?
Yeah, what we want to say that if we just take 10% of the market, not the efficacy,
okay,
just 10% of for 3 diseases, minimum 1.5 billion a year, which is we expected more.
So that's market potential.
Yeah.
Yes.
Market potential.
Yeah,
Yes.
But the way it sounded is,
Yeah.
if they only catch 10% of the checkpoint inhibitors, it would mean something, which I thought was
So-
was not correct. Anyway, I was also going to ask if you're also looking into the efficacy of this other diseases other than cancer. Have you looked at other applications?
Absolutely, yeah. So our strategy, I love that the session before this was about starting locally, then moving global. In pharmaceuticals, it's less regionally based. It's more you start with a narrow indication. If you can advance to the market there and prove that it works well, you start to expand. We could see ourselves in other kinds of cancers, but then ultimately other kinds of immune-mediated diseases as well. Infectious disease, autoimmunity, you name it.
And you said you're going to go to, you're expecting FDA approval in 2025. What are the hurdles that could push that beyond 2025?
Yeah, so far our phase 1 trial was just evaluating safety. We also looked at some biomarkers.
So it just looked at safety.
Right.
Not
right.
efficacy.
So the efficacy is going to be the big teller
Big one.
for sure.
Okay. And are you working on efficacy for animals first and then humans and then?
Absolutely.
How long does that take?
We covered all the preclinical, all the animals, the efficacy and safety. We
Yeah.
just finish the phase 1A for the safety.
Yeah.
And now soon we'll start for the efficacy, phase 2 clinical trials, and hope we do it in US and also in Saudi with collaboration with the Saudi FDA.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all very much.
Next, Ibogar from South Africa. Good luck.
Good afternoon. How are you doing? I'm happy to be here. Okay, I'm going the wrong way.
Yeah.
Sorry. Can I have help with this?
Yeah. Yeah, you can go ahead.
All right, cool. Okay.
I forgot.
Okay.
That's my.
Yeah.
All right. A week and a half ago, I was cheering on my biggest football supporter. Sorry, my biggest, soccer fan. I'm a biggest soccer fan. Yeah. And I lost my voice, Prince Khaled. When I Googled Dr. Al-Qorayaf, it told me that I would need 2 weeks to work on my voice. So I'm happy, very happy to be able to speak to you. Trust me, I'm very happy. All right, the problem. What is the problem? The problem is the epidemic situation in Africa is the most challenged globally. I don't need to tell you about the bacteria, the viral threats, and so forth. But the solutions that we're coming up with, Madam Olayan, to combat this are very, very dangerous. And our solution is to go to nature. It's to go back to our roots. Electrochemical activation technology. We're talking about fusing salt, water, and electricity to create a broad spectrum biocide that's able to create some of these products that you can see that range from pet care, baby care, antimicrobial solution, fruit and veg life extension for the industry. And what we are saying is the market opportunity in Africa for clean water, for agriculture as a biocide, for health and wellness is an addressable annualized market of $7 billion. And that's the space we're basically playing in. And what are our clients? We have a dual focus. We have a B2B focus and we have a B2C focus. We're working with enterprises as well as consumers. How do we make money? We have a very traditional, simplified, straightforward money-making approach. We make money through a profit margin, lean manufacturing, and we are also working on an on-demand technology solution for the future where the enterprises can be able to generate the biomic HOCl on-site. Our business milestones, we've been tested and approved, number one. We've been listed, the very long process of convincing the supermarket chains to take us up. Number three, we've been in pharmacies. We've signed up B2B customers in agro and across different sectors. This is just a snapshot of our product demo on the shelf. We're competing head-on with 100-year-old brands already. We're 1 year old, we're bootstrapped, and we're already right there with the big boys. This is the enterprise. We have a bulk solution. Minister Al-Khoraf, you had a very good question when we spoke, and you said, how do you sell this to the big boys? How do you sell this to the farmers, the poultry guys? And this is how we do it. We have trademarks that we've come up with. Yes. And this is basically our team. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
How much does it cost?
You had that question, Prince Khaled.
Everybody needs to hear it.
It's a very cheap solution. How much does it cost to produce?
Produce.
It's very cheap to produce. We're talking of less than 2 cents to produce.
What's the IP that you have that other people can't copy?
Well, we're a market-focused startup. We're looking at a continent that manufactures very little for the world, and that's got these problems. So our focus is on impact and not really to come to you and say, I have all this IP. We're not defending IP so much, but we're solving a problem and addressing a market and have entered the space. We're the first mover, basically.
Got it.
Yes.
Anik.
Is it safe? Has it been tested for safety?
Very good. This you can spray into your mouth and taste it. I kid you not.
I'll spray it in your mouth.
Let me do it for you, please. Let me do it for you, Tal Amrak.
And if it's still alive, we'll know that it's safe.
No. Why not you? Why not you spray it in your mouth?
Well, I can spray it in the mouth if you want.
No.
Yes. Any more questions?
Anyway, Clinton, it's good to see you here in Riyadh. I mean, this guy made too much investigation on me. I stopped asking him questions.
I did say that the only thing I don't know about you is your 7th name, Honorable. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, Optima DX from KAUST. Dr. Majdi, Shadi, go ahead.
Your Highness, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Shadi. This is my 4th startup. With me today, Dr. Magdi Mahfouz, Chief Scientific Officer, and the most cited professor in CRISPR in the region. We're a KAUST to spin out, and we're solving the diagnostic gap. So we lost millions of lives in COVID, right? And the world isn't ready for the next pandemic yet. But the diagnostic gap isn't just about pandemics. Half of the population lack access to proper diagnostics already. And that is a global issue. Why? Because molecular testing infrastructure is limited. While we have the group of technologies, the gold standard like the PCR, which is the gold standard for the reliability, but it's centralized and hence expensive and inaccessible. Other group of technologies are decentralized but not as reliable, like antigen testing. It's 100 times less sensitive than the PCR. We have successfully engineered and validated a scalable, reprogrammable, CRISPR-based diagnostics technology. So CRISPR is famous in gene editing. We use CRISPR in diagnostics, and this is a game changer because it brings the accuracy of the PCR and the portability and affordability of the rapid testing. And it's a platform technology, meaning that it's literally reprogrammable to every possible viral, bacterial, or genetic disease marker. We have the prototype here. We have, in partnership with Kingfisher Research Hospital, clinically validated our technology, our patented technology, with 100% specificity and 95% sensitivity. We're deploying this technology in a very simple kit that anyone can use. This is the user experience. The user just collects the sample, put it in the capsule that has the chemistry of the test, put the capsule in the device, and results are ready. Device price estimate at $300, which is 100 times cheaper than the average PCR. Test price estimate at $30, which is going down with economy of scale and further R&D. Business-wise, we have 3 revenue models. A core straightforward consumable-based like the Nespresso business model, targeting primary healthcare units and patient at home. One-time device sale and recurring revenues from the capsule. We have 2 other revenue-generating partnership-based revenue models to hit 2 goals: quicker go-to-market and expand our obtainable market. CRISPR is set to disrupt a multi-billion-dollar PCR market. And this is why there are few other startups commercializing CRISPR in other markets. Some of them are currently unicorns, and our differentiation is 3 things. Focus on Middle East and Africa, partnership-oriented go-to-market strategy, and a unique portfolio of clinical indications. With the right balance between science, technology, and business, we believe we have what it takes to hit our milestones, which is a partnership-based go-to-market with our assays after a year, a clinically validated, fully automated kit in 18 months, and obtain our regulatory clearance for the kit by early 2025. We're raising funds to hit our upcoming milestones, and if you're interested to make precision diagnostics more accessible, we'd love to connect. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
You have patents on this. You have patents on this.
We have a patent pending. We filed it through KAUST 18 months ago, and we're expecting to receive it.
So
end of
regional,
this
not
year.
international.
The IP is in the US.
So you're filing the patent in the US also?
Yeah.
Okay.
Where will you manufacture the kit?
We're not in the manufacturing phase yet. Currently, we're exploring multiple design and engineering agencies to help us design and engineer the kit. When it comes to manufacturing, we're not there yet.
So do you make your money on the consumables, or do you make your money on the
Two things.
device?
We have the one-time sale of the device, expected to be at $300, and the recurring revenues from the tests or the capsule.
Why do you have to charge for the device if you are going to make money on the consumables?
We're not putting a big markup on it, but financially speaking, we're just, we're not giving it.
I think you should.
Maybe we can assess the financial viability of this considered.
What's the accuracy of it?
95% sensitivity and 100% specificity.
For what disease?
The clinical validation that we did in King Faisal Hospital was on COVID, but the thing about CRISPR that it has this guide RNA that you can reprogram for other disease marker. It's just complementary nucleotides. It's really.
So you haven't tested on other diseases yet?
This is our clinical validation roadmap that was shown in the.
Where are you in the funding rounds?
So we are opening a round, and we have commitments.
First round?
A first round, yes.
How much?
$7 million.
What will that be spent on? What will it be spent on?
So 40% on R&D, 40% on product development, and the remaining on payroll SG&A.
And you have one of the other professors as a
Advisory
as an advisor, Malak, Dr. Malak.
Yes.
I saw that. You're going to win twice. That's not fair. Maybe. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Excellencies.
Thank you.
Thank you.
بتشوف إذا شمول ما سألناهم أسئلة.
You have question for Shumul?
No, I want to be fair to them, so we. Okay.
If there is any question for Shumul?
We didn't give them a chance.
This is our very simple demo, by the way, if you want to see it.
By the way, why are you only doing a lab in the US, not a lab in Saudi Arabia?
This is an excellent question, Madam.
So you're going to send all the blood tests to the US?
No. So we started the R&D actually research project in 2019, 2020. All actually the samples came from Saudi women and from US pregnant women. But we do process part of the samples here, and we also have in parallel collaboration with Baylor Genetics. So we do it in parallel between the two sides. We are moving to the US for different reasons. First of all, there is to get talent, there is access to talent, and also there is to get capital. And the third, the maturity of ecosystem. But we have a strong presence in Saudi. We have actually partners, including some, I don't want to mention name, but we can discuss it. We have a distribution partners here. Thank you.
Thank
you.
you.
I had a question also, if I may. Does your technology and your test work pre-marriage? I mean, can it be used for screening, for susceptibility to these type of diseases?
No, we are only for pregnant women from week 10 to 16.
So you cannot look at genetics and sequence it?
Before that, there is a different test called carrier panels, where many of our partners, they offer it. It's almost everywhere.
It's already in the market.
We just focus on the spirit, and this is my demo. We just collect blood here. That's it.
Thank you.
And sorry. You've just closed your round.
Seed
round. How much?
It's undisclosed for this matter.
Okay. That's okay.
Undisclosed.
We can discuss it, Prince Khalid, in private, but we prefer not to disclose.
Okay.
Thank you.
it's time now to write your evaluating for the startup from 1 to 5. While we are doing this,
Can I say something?
Yes, please.
First of all, I would like to say that I think they are all winners. And I would like to congratulate the Dammam Valley for the great work they have done.
Well done.
The quality of the ideas that we have seen is out. I mean, really exceptional. And I think the fact that the ideas are commercially more or less viable, but also they are all after a cause, is something that we should be very proud of. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Mali.
Very well said.
Do we get to collaborate, or is this?
Yeah.
If you want to collaborate.
But you need to turn off the mics if we're going to collaborate, though.
Yeah.
I made up my mind.
You made up your mind.
I did.
You did.
Okay, so then we will get the average. Of,
So do we have to announce?
No,
Okay.
someone will collect.
I'll give
Someone
us,
Mali, Malik, if you want to have a comment or something for the
So
ecosystem.
number
for,
one is number one.
Well, first of all,
قالت لي بالأول
Yeah,
Is the mic on? Okay. I think, obviously, this is a great process. I think the excitement you created, 70 entrepreneurs have come forward. So thanks to you, thanks to the university, thanks to Dammam Valley. You know, the combination of entrepreneurship, deep tech innovation, which is, I think, something we're trying to activate in the kingdom. The kingdom has been doing great in entrepreneurship, venture capital, but this type of venture capital has not taken roots in the kingdom. And the fact that you're opening it up globally, we're seeing global innovators and researchers and inventors converge here and work with our scientists from the universities across the landscape.
One big though.
Is fantastic. So, okay. So I think this is the beginning of a movement, doing it specifically in biotech and healthcare is so timely. We just came out of COVID, but everybody is predicting that there will be many other healthcare challenges coming forward, not to mention the ones we're living with, the chronic diseases, congenital diseases. So, like I said, the sky is the limit. This is the tip of the iceberg. I can't wait to see what this will ultimately unveil in terms of solutions that will be in our homes, that will keep us from going to hospitals, that will extend life, that will improve quality of life. So thank you very much. And I want to just echo what His Excellency said. Each one of the 5 and probably each one of the 70
Absolutely.
is a winner, and thanks to you for giving them the platform.
Thank you, Malik. And without your support and Maali Kharayib support and all the panelists with us and the partners, we couldn't have done this or reach this level. Madame Lubna, you have any comment?
After the 2 excellencies, and that's why there are excellencies, we can't say anything. But I have to say it's really very impressive, truly impressive, and it makes us as Saudis very proud to see this happening. And thank you for bringing this to the scene.
So I guess you will sponsor them next year, Lubna?
A sponsor? Well, there is different type of sponsorship.
I mean the money one.
The money
type. Your commitment of mentorship for the not only you but the whole panelists. This is what we were asking for.
We like to tease her. Tease Lubna, that's all.
And he's right.
Small Amir.
أبدا بسم الله الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. I have to echo everything that the excellencies and obviously my sister Lubna Al-Ayan said. Wallah, this is a high caliber a bunch of companies. I love to see the collaboration between the 2 countries happen in a very high level way. I wish them all the luck. They're really good, mashallah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I know you have to run. If we can get one group picture, and we will announce the result later once we have calculated.
Correlated.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.